So I'm back on the map thing. So last time we have Brazil going communist. Oop, fix this up. So Brazil, come on. So with Brazil going communist, we had Soviets invading Iran and setting up a Warsaw Pact government here, which the Americans didn't like, so it's been pressure on their Middle Eastern holdings in Iraq and Kuwait here. And obviously they want to connect Syria to the rest of this, so putting a lot of pressure on that. I need to be quick. That's pretty sure that happened, isn't it? Believe so. No, it had to be. Oh, in the Egyptian Civil War. Anyways, so we're starting in South America again, where we see another civil war funded by the ACL, not the thing in your leg, but the American Communist League. And yep, it takes. It's just along the border. They funded some citizen militias to rise up. Not just citizen militias, as well as some loyalists in the army, Brazilian volunteers. And they're pretty landlocked here, as you can see. America and the West don't see point in aiding Bolivia. And ultimately, in the coming weeks, what's the capital? Is La Paz? There's actually another city here. I'm not sure. Anyways, that's encircled, and that's the end of Bolivia. And now the question comes whether to set up a government here, or for Brazil to annex them. The vote came in, and they get their independence for now, but they do join a faction in Brazil, which I'll make clear here later. I'll set that faction thing up. So anyways, I've got Communist Brazil. Next thing, we have the same thing happening in Chile. Oh, it's gonna be painful to do, isn't it? Oh, bear with me. This won't be perfect because of all the islands. If you ever fought in Hearts-of-Iron, you get the amount of naval invasion you just do up here. Okay, it's not gonna be perfect, of course. Yeah, this is actually hell. You must be joking. Alright. There we are, lovely. So let's just say for the convenience of not. Oh, I can't support. I almost forwarded one. I forgot it's pre-planned, so I'm trying to do it better than the last one. So with a little thing up here, Santiago, like around here, remains loyal, and then they don't have as much land. And yeah, this one doesn't go too well. They're pushed back slowly, but terrain's horrible to fight in, so they manage to hold on for a while. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of these guys for now. But who knows, I might have a comeback for volunteers. I'm going a bit too fast. So the next thing, we got the CCR here, the Congo Communist Republics, and they're part of the African Communist League. Ethiopia, Algeria, them, Angola, Mozambique, and that's it. And these guys might join soon. They're not very legitimate government right now, so yeah. This is gonna be a long video to make something else up, I suppose. Anyways, what was I doing? Yes, so the CCR. They say to their little Angolan friends down here, hey, since we've sent you so much state building and helped you so much, and given you this position, our faction, why don't you hand us over this North Angola bit here? And it's either they say no and get invaded by all the aforementioned nations, or say yes and lose not that much ultimately, because it's on the same faction. So they go ahead and say yes, obviously. And this is ceded over to them. It makes the borders look a bit nicer. That's a bonus. Then they go, the CCR go looking, where else can we expand? This is all British owned, so we'll get done by NATO for that. Well, not officially, because fighting under here doesn't count. Let's say Britain is still too powerful. It might have been, no, been 1958. It would still be a thing. I don't know if it is now. They look over to Kenya. This is Kenya. I'm not retired. It is Kenya. They look over to Sudan. That's French. That's Spanish. They could probably handle that. And they look over to Cameroon here. They rule out. Oh, I've done some horrible order. They rule out Sudan the fact that there's not much here. It's really big and doesn't help them much because the cost of getting this for what you get back isn't very smart. And also to hold it down. So they're looking for a rebellion here at some point. They go over to Kenya and they're like, this is pretty promising, but our friend Ethiopia has lots of claim to it and we don't want to lose them as our ally. So maybe in the future we could set something up, but right now they're trying to hold down Somalia. So look over to Equatorial Guinea here. I'm really proud of this, not recording. Okay. So look over to Equatorial Guinea here. And they say, could we take the Spanish in a war right now? And they're isolated from NATO. So what they do is, yeah, they take their chances and invade Equatorial Guinea, held down by Spain. And in a few days, they have the whole thing down. No one helps Franco because he's Franco, obviously. The communists don't like him, the NATO don't like him. So, yeah, in the end they just take this over. They do pay some compensation instead of peace. But the CCR has expanded quite a bit now. Got a lot more coastline to work with. And final route of expansion I mentioned was Cameroon, which they take up pretty quickly. They do a joint invasion with Nigeria up here. Nigeria promised everything here, and the CCR will take the rest. Okay, I forgot about this bit. Oops. Nigeria takes that. The sales. I was there the whole time. Oh my goodness. There you go. So Nigeria starts. I don't know the wrong colour. It doesn't matter. Nigeria starts walking through. Very slow, and they surrender the north because there's not much point holding that. They try and hold down their coastline in hopes that someone will try to help them. So it takes a few weeks for them to get to here. Same is happening down here, which they can't hold as well, which is the sheer size of the front. And then their forces link up here, and they start pushing down. And I hope someone will come save them. They get a few aid guns from. That would make sense. They get a few aid guns from NATO, but in the end, their army's trapped here, and then they're pushed out. The leaders flee, and then that's the end of Cameroon. Unfortunately for them. And let's go back. Nigeria gets what they were promised originally, because the CCR are honourable to their deals apparently. So they promised everything here. It's too thick. I should start doing the borders in two. Oh well, I remember that. And they take this, which they do claim some of this down here. Yep, and they take that. Nigeria expands a little bit. Again, pretty powerful now, so their population obviously very big, and a very strategic region of Africa to hold. So Nigeria grows a little bit, and the CCR look at this, say we could set it up as a puppet state or annex it, and they see all the resources here, lots of rubber, which they could sell off, and they don't see much population, so they take the chances and try to garrison it and take it into their union of sorts. Anyways, yep. So that's how big they've got in the end. Expanded a lot since Belgium left. Alright, now moving on to Vietnam over here. Instead of there being a massive proxy war in this timeline, stability is brought here because that one guy. Wait, what did I write down? I'll get to that another time, so I forgot to write down why. Oh well, anyways, China over here declare war on Vietnam, and will do the rest of Indochina at some point, probably. I haven't got that far yet. I mean, this is law. That's a lot to push through, and only focus one at a time, so not anger the West. They're pretty neutral, Vietnam, in this timeline. Definitely didn't want French help, but yeah, progress is slow. They've only made it to about here, and Western troops start falling in, mainly from America, who wants to establish a sphere of influence down here. Speaking of which, the American Pacific territories around here, they want to hold down the Pacific and Southeast Asia. So they see this, their old little colony in the Philippines, that's the wrong colour, and they declare war on them. They were planning this last time, I forgot to mention. They were planning an invasion, and they launch it from their bases in the Pacific, very slow at first. They land on Manila, and is this one Suzon? Which one's Suzon? I can't remember. They land on Manila up here. Another force comes down here and pushes them off the island, and then they start island hopping down here a little bit. That's as far as they get, and they claim this one. That's as far as they get for right now. So yeah, that's 1958 done. Next one's 1959, funnily enough. More stuff in South America maybe, who knows. Goodbye.